Hello guys and girls, welcome to Game Week 22 at Nathbet.com. Sorry about the dodgy lighting this week, but I seem to have locked myself into the study and I can't get away, and I want to get these tips out as quick as possible. So it's a little bit of murder mystery-ish this weekend, but hopefully the mystery will be solved, and we've solved it with the fixtures this week. Little recap on last week. Obviously we had FA Cup, so we didn't put any tips out then. We only put a cheeky fourfold out, but there wasn't a regular double, treble and fourfold. But previous week we almost had a clean sweep, didn't we? The double coming in, the treble coming in, the fourfold only one goal off a clean sweep. Very, very close. But like you say, we had a couple of cancellations, but the profit we're getting here is serious money, guys. It really is. The points that we're making each week is just, it's mind-boggling. We're very, very happy. We haven't got the clean sweep yet, but we are working on it. We think that, obviously if you've been following us from the start of the season, you are vastly in profit. I mean, this is really, really serious stuff. You go onto different tipping websites, you know that we're going to be up there with some of the very best in the country. So congratulations for continuing to back at Nathbet.com. We've got some very, very big prices this week. I'm very, very excited about some of the tips we've got. Obviously a little bit more risk involved this week, and we're sticking mainly with the Championship and the Premier League, but nevertheless I do fancy them, like I say. So if you have got some money, and you will have from the profit that you've had in different weeks leading up to this game week 22, then please use that and use that accordingly. Straight on with the double, guys, then this week. The first one, Reading, we're going to tip to beat Blackpool. Reading available at 4-5, which is a very nice price if you can get it. I think you should be able to get 4-5. Blackpool pretty much in disarray at the moment, aren't they? They're obviously managerless. Barry Ferguson's taking temporary charge. They played Doncaster in midweek and didn't look particularly strong, did they? It was a pretty poor game, actually. Reading, on the other hand, have had better results as of late from at home. They had that huge 7-1 victory over Bolton Wanderers as well, which have done the confidence the world of good. They're in that playoff position. I do think that Blackpool, especially with the likes of Tom Ince not going to be available, with him in talks with Swansea and a host of other Premier League clubs over the next couple of days, he's definitely not going to be available for this game. So I think that Reading are in all sorts of great form for them to go there and get 3 points. So I'm going to back Reading at home to beat Blackpool. That is a 4-5 price. So back them, back Reading, and double them up with QPR. Queen's Park Rangers play Bolton at home. Now, we've talked about Bolton. They lost 7-1 last time out at Reading. They've also just lost David Ngog, their main striker. He's gone on loan to Swansea City. So they're a striker less, so they're obviously weaker than the team that went to Reading and did so badly. And they've also got a couple of suspensions in there. And they've got to travel to Queen's Park Rangers, who are second in the league, look like automatic promotion certainties with Leicester City. And I just think it's far too much for them. Also, Bolton played in the FA Cup last weekend, so they're on short rest. Queen's Park Rangers could have put their feet up after losing in the third round to Everton 4-0. So they've had plenty of time to rest, recuperate. They've got a nice home game. They've won the last 3 in the bounce, make that 4 with a win here. Queen's Park Rangers 4-6 to beat Bolton at Wanderers. So that's Reading and Queen's Park Rangers, gives us a 2-1 double with Bet365 and Bet Victor. Now, there's a very, very big price this weekend, guys, if you have not opened an account with Betfred. They're offering 4-1 about Liverpool to beat Everton this midweek, this Tuesday, this Wednesday. That's a massive price for people who haven't opened an account with Betfred. If you have not opened an account yet, you do not need to navigate away from the screen. Please click on the Betfred icon that you can see above and below me. Put your details in there, and you will get a huge 4-1 on Liverpool to beat Everton this weekend. Now, I'm saying that because the first bet in my treble this weekend, obviously for not the new account holders, is Liverpool to beat Everton. That's my tip. So if you can get 4-1, that's a fantastic price. I'm tipping them at 17-20, so just under evens. So you can see how much of a big difference that makes, that 4-1. But nevertheless, even if you already got an account with them, still back Liverpool. I think they're a nice price, even with both fullbacks out. You've got Flanagan, who's returning. Obviously, Kelly's probably going to be at right back with Johnson injured, so it's a little bit concerning at the back. However, Everton have got their problems as well. Yes, it is a Merseyside derby, and I think things will be tight, but I do expect the quality of Liverpool to nick it. Obviously, with your Suarez and Sturridge up front, they have got a little bit of quality. There's obviously question marks over Distan as well. Oviedo broke his leg against Stevenage on Sunday. Jackie Elka went off with a hamstring injury, so they've definitely got defensive concerns. It will be a tight game. I expect Liverpool to win by the odd goal, but I do think they're going to win. 70-20 about Liverpool is the first bet that we're going to give you in the treble. Second one is Arsenal. Arsenal go to Southampton. Now, Southampton are up and down lately. They have had a bad run of fixtures, really, and they're definitely not a bad side. They will finish in the top 8 in the league. I've obviously lauded Pochettino and his form and his managerial expertise as he has come into the league this season or back into last season, and what he's done. He's done wonders. But obviously, with the problems with the chairman, it's unsettled things a little bit. They've also got Osvaldo, who they've suspended for 2 weeks with a training ground bust-up. So things aren't altogether peachy, let's say, at the stadium. Osvaldo, even though he's a problem player, he's excellent. And I don't know whether the likes of Jay Rodriguez, Adam Lallana, and Ricky Lambert, even though he's been talked about as a transfer potential as well, whether they're going to be enough to match Arsenal, even though they're at home at St Mary's. Arsenal got Thomas Vermaelen back, Aaron Ramsey back, Arteta back. Okay, they've lost a couple. Wilshire's doubtful. Obviously, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's out, and Walcott's out long term. But I do think that with Cazorla, Ozil, and Giroud up front, I do think they'll have too much to win. Too much to give Southampton on this occasion. Even money about Arsenal going to take them to beat them. And the last bet is Aston Villa. Aston Villa against West Brom. Now, Villa have been very, very good in the game against Liverpool 2 weeks ago. They got an excellent 2-2 draw. They were much the better side. Played Liverpool off the park, actually, as most of you watched, with that front three of Weimann, Agbon, Lahore, and Benteke. Benteke looks like he's back to his former glories, which is a huge boost for Paul Lambert. West Brom under Pepe Mel, they had an okay game against Everton. I'm sure they would have taken 1-1 before the game, but they didn't really impress me. Now, I do think, even though it's a Midlands derby, I do think that Villa will win this game. And at 8-5, I do like them to win, especially at that price. So that's Arsenal, Villa, and Liverpool. Gives us a big price of 8.5-1 with William Hill and also Bet365. On with the 4-4 then. And this is a massive 4-4, a huge 4-4, guys. I won't tell you the price as of yet, but all these games I do like. First of all, Middlesbrough against Wigan. Now, Wigan, they had a short rest as well. Obviously, they beat Crystal Palace, the FA Cup holders, remarkably after beating Man City last year. They beat Crystal Palace, but to go to Middlesbrough, who have been very good. Okay, Middlesbrough did play at the weekend as well. They lost to Leicester City, and very unlucky as well. A very controversial goal that they gave away against the league leaders. But previous to that, they've won 5 out of their last 6. Should have been 6 out of 6, really. And they're very, very good at home, very strong. I just fancy Middlesbrough to use their home advantage in their favour and beat Wigan at 11-8. The second team, the team we've tipped pretty much all season, have done us proud, Manchester City. Obviously had that huge scare, didn't they, against Watford at the weekend. But they go to Spurs, which is a difficult game. That's why they're 21-20 odds against. Negredo out probably, well, almost certainly, but with Deco and Aguero just looks like he hasn't skipped a beat, has he, when he's returned from injury. I could go up and down the Manchester City team with the players they've got. And obviously Tottenham much improved under Sherwood, but I just think that the quality, and it's obviously a big game for Manchester City, I do back them to come through on this occasion. Like I say, another tight game, but I expect Manchester City at 21-20 to beat Spurs. Third game, and this is probably where the big money comes in, Norwich against Newcastle. Now, Norwich, good at home, poor away. Newcastle, obviously the better side, but I think that Carrow Road's a difficult place for them to go to. Could be Johan Cabaye's last game, depending on whether he gets a transfer to Paris Saint-Germain. I expect this to be a score draw, guys. I really can't see any other result in this, and it gives us a very nice 12-5 price. So we're going to put that in the 4-4 this week. A little bit risky, but I do think that this is everything. The makeup on this game is that it's going to be a draw. Everything says it's going to be a draw, so that's what we're going to back. Finished it off with Nottingham Forest at 23-20. They didn't do us proud at the FA Cup this weekend. However, I'm going to give them a second chance at home to Watford. They are so strong at the City ground, and I expect Andy Reid and co to go and get the job done on a professional basis. Watford don't travel particularly well, and a price at 23 to 20 about Forest, who are obviously pushing for those promotion places, is something that I like very much, and that's why we're going to put them in the fourfold. So Middlesbrough, Manchester City, Norwich, Newcastle draw, and Nottingham Forest gives us a massive price, season's biggest, 34.7 to 144. That is best price with Bet Victor and William Hill. Remember, you've still got the long shot, and if you haven't got a Betfred account, use Nathbet. Get that 4 to 1 Liverpool and put it on in that treble. Enjoy the weekend, guys. Very excited, big prices. Make sure you get involved, and let's keep that profit going. Have a good one. Bye bye.